Welcome to the Professor Slots podcast. You know how you put a lot of time and energy into your slots play for not nearly enough wins? Yeah, I get it. I'm here to help you change that. If you're trying to accelerate your slots momentum, become more profitable, and win more than ever before, today's episode will help you move forward with confidence. Hello, slots enthusiasts. It's great to hang out with you again for another Professor Slots podcast episode I do every week or so to help you improve your slots performance, leave with your winnings, and ultimately change your life for the better. And hopefully I'll change your life a little bit today so you can win at your casino and play slots smarter. And sometimes the best way we can do that to change slots enthusiasts' lives for the better is when they enter a business relationship with us. They become a client. They buy our online courses. They start to get coaching from us, whatever the case may be, because you have ways to take advantage of your casino, which allows you to impact how much you win and then leave with your winnings. In case you missed it in my last episode, I went over Emotionally Overwhelmed is the Casino's Business Plan, the Louisiana Slots Industry, and provided a Q&A session from one of my past live streams. I hope you enjoyed listening to my last episode as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Today's episode number 191 includes a review of the slots industry in Maine later in the episode, followed by a Q&A segment. But I'll begin for you today with what you need for a fun and successful casino trip. I know what you want, to win at slots, but to get slots winnings isn't a want, but a need. You need a plan to achieve a successful casino trip. When I teach at the university, I tell my students on career day, I don't care what your plan is. I care that you have a plan. Most slots enthusiasts don't have a plan. Every day, millions of players go to a casino and randomly pick a slot machine, put their bankroll in, and get an average result of 90% if they're in Indiana, to 93% if they're in Nevada. And that's okay. We need millions and millions of slots enthusiasts to pay casinos' bills for us. Heck, we need them to pay more than that. We want them to give casinos enough money for them to stay in business. But that's them. I don't want that to be you. What you need for a successful casino visit is a plan. Your plan needs to have two parts. First, you need to learn to win. That's where I come in. And second, you need to learn to leave with your winnings. While I can explain how you might leave with your winnings, that's up to you. Nobody can make you leave with your winnings. Only you can. Or maybe your spouse if you give them your winnings. That's a plan some players use. During over 100 live streams, I've been explaining my winning slot strategies. Well, some of them are winning slot strategies at your casino. Not all my strategies results in winning at your casino. Why? Because my strategies are based on each casino's business practices. For them to work, a casino must have the matching business or accounting practice. That's on them. Our job is to figure out which one or more they are using so we can take advantage of them instead of the other way around. What do you use to win at your casino, and how do you get out, assuming you're not still working on that? If you are, no worries. First, we win, and only after that starts happening do we get to practice, getting out of the casino with our winnings. If only the second thing was as easy as the first. I visit a different casino nearly every other weekend. The intent is to show you, step by step, how to test which of my strategies work, if any of them do work, at a new-to-me casino. I will occasionally revisit a casino if it's been years or if it's under new management. I'm thinking one of those will be the next casino I visit. Recently, I went to a new-to-me casino in Michigan, MGM Grand Detroit, and I had a plan. I'll tell you about that plan in a moment. But first, that trip was awful. Oh, the food options were great, the casino was clean, the slot machines were modern, and the staff was incredibly helpful. None of those was a problem. Well, maybe waiting in line at the cashier's cage could have gone faster, but I made good use of my time waiting there. But the odds of winning were terrible. That's what was awful. But I knew it would be, so I had developed a plan prior to my visit. I don't mean I assumed the odds would be terrible. I mean I knew the odds would be terrible. How? By reading my Michigan Slot Machine Casino Gambling website article. I was informed about what's happening in Michigan, including in Detroit. Michigan has 3 commercial casinos and 23 tribal casinos. The 3 commercial casinos are all in Detroit and regulated by the Michigan Gaming Control Board. No return statistics are available to the public, but there is a theoretical payout limit. In fact, there are 2 limits, a minimum theoretical payout limit and a maximum theoretical payout limit. These are 80% and 100%, but there was a caveat in the state gaming regs regarding the 100% theoretical payout limit. The theoretical payout limit could be higher than 100% if the casino asked for approval from the Gaming Commission. What? The maximum limit had an out that casino could use. So the question became, how many had the gaming board approved? But that information is not publicly available. But even if it were, nobody at the Gaming Commission or the casino is going to share which slot machines had a theoretical payout over 100%. Do you see my plan now? I went to MGM Grand Detroit with a plan to look for any slot machines with a theoretical payout over 100%. And spoiler alert, I found several. What I did is what you need to do. Have a plan. Any plan. A plan to win and a plan to leave with your winnings. Not all your winnings if you don't want to, nor some winnings if that's your conscious choice. And the first thing you need to do is read over gaming regulations. For your convenience, start not with the gaming regulations themselves, but rather my summaries. For every U.S. gaming jurisdiction, whether it be a state, territory, or federal district, I have a website article for it. You'll find links to every state article on my online resource for U.S. casino slots enthusiasts. My apologies for those playing slots outside of the U.S. as I haven't spread that far. Although the Australian Gambling Research Centre in Australia is fascinating and the crown agencies for each Canadian province are too shabby either. How to win at slots is different at every casino due to their business operations, but sometimes those common business practices are off limits because their hands are tied by state gaming regulations. So look at my state-by-state slots articles, especially under the section I call Theoretical Payouts and Return Statistics. That's where you'll find a summary of any rules that exist. I've made and am continuing to make more videos and articles about making the most of return statistics, and you can make that part of your plan. But you should also know about theoretical payout limits. These legal limits can matter, and any caveats that might exist. Not knowing them, not using them when developing your plan, it's like tying one arm behind your back. Check. Go check a few right now. What state are you in? In summary, learn your casino and state well so you can create an informed plan. Why? To achieve a successful casino trip. Want to take the next step to accelerate your slots winning? Well, take my 6-week advanced course, Slots Labs, with group coaching. Every week we'll focus on what you need to win at slots and leave with your winnings. You also get 3 valuable bonuses, including my mini course, 7 Gambling Record Secrets, my Slots Fundamentals course, 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win, because that's a prerequisite for Slots Labs, and Strategy Calls with me. Visit ProfessorSlots.com/SL to learn more about the free course bonuses, course content, and cost. But fair warning, this course is not for the faint of heart. It will take hard work, a time commitment of an average of around 5 to 6 hours per week, sometimes more, sometimes less. We want you to know this going into the Slots Lab experience so that you get the most out of it. Seating is limited and the course fills up fast. In the next segment of the show, I provide a brief overview of the current state of gambling in a U.S. state, territory, or the federal district, emphasizing the gaming industry for slots enthusiasts. Let's go over Maine's gaming industry for playing slots. Maine slot machine casino gambling consists of 2 parimutuel racetracks with slot machines. Bingo is available throughout the state. The minimum legal gambling age in Maine depends upon the gambling activity. For land-based casinos and poker rooms, it's 21. For the lottery and parimutuel racing, it's 18, and for bingo, 16. In 2003, Maine offered a referendum to its voters to approve slot machines at racetracks. The residents of Bangor approved it, but residents of the city of Scarborough did not. To this day, the racetrack in Scarborough does not offer slot machines. In 2010, voters in the town of Oxford approved slot machines for their casino. The next year, the casino in Bangor approved table games. Maine's legal rights with regards to tribal gaming is unique relative to other states. The Indian Gaming Regulatory Act of 1988 does not apply, as it came after the Maine Indian Claims Settlement Act of 1980. As a result of this legal precedent, gaming on tribal land in Maine is subject to state law rather than the federal IGRA. Next up is a usually short statement about slot machine private ownership, which I have included in case you live in this U.S. state and are considering owning a slot machine. Here it is. In Maine, it is legal to own slot machines privately without regard to its year of manufacture. The State of Maine Gaming Control Commission is its gambling control unit. In this section, I discuss Maine gambling establishments. Maine has 2 commercial racetrack casinos with slot machines. The largest casino in Maine is Oxford Casino Hotel. The second largest and only other casino is Hollywood Casino Bangor. Maine's 2 racetracks with slot machines are Hollywood Casino Bangor, 136 miles northeast of Portland, and Oxford Casino Hotel, 46 miles north of Portland. A complete list along with a casino map are on my webpage for this article at professorslots.com/me. Maine has 4 federally recognized American Indian tribes. State law permits them to offer high-stakes bingo games without restriction to the size of prizes. As an alternative to enjoying Maine slot machine casino gambling, consider exploring casino options in a nearby state. Bordering Maine is, to the northwest, Quebec, a province of Canada. To the east, New Brunswick, a province of Canada. To the south, the Atlantic Ocean. And to the west, New Hampshire. To visit any of my articles on U.S. states, simply visit professorslots.com followed by its 2-letter postal designation. For example, my New Hampshire slots article is available at professorslots.com/nh. Maine law requires a theoretical payout to have a minimum limit of 89% on all electronic gaming machines. This state law requirement applies to any Class II bingo-style gaming machines offered by Maine's tribes. The state of Maine's Gambling Control Unit offers return statistics at Casino Revenue Distribution. These revenue reports are monthly except for the most recent month, which is weekly. In these reports, average payback percent to players is Maine's casino's slot machine player win percent. For January 2023, the latest state returns available as of this recording, the casino-specific monthly player win percentages were Hollywood Bangor, 91.4%, Oxford, 92%. In summary, Maine slot machine casino gambling consists of 2 parimutuel wagering racetracks with slot machines. A 3rd racetrack offers parimutuel wagering without electronic gaming machines. Want to take the next step to accelerate your slots winning? Well, take my 6 weeks advanced course Slots Labs with group coaching. Every week, we'll focus on what you need to win at slots and to leave with your winnings. You also get 3 valuable bonuses, including my mini course 7 Gambling Record Secrets, my Slots Fundamentals course 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win, because it's a prerequisite for Slots Labs, and strategy calls with me. Visit professorslots.com/sl to learn more about the free courses, course content, and cost. But fair warning, this course is not for the faint of heart. It will take hard work, a time commitment of an average of around 5 to 6 hours per week, sometimes more, sometimes less. We want you to know this going into the Slots Lab experience so you get the most coming out of it. Seating is limited and the course fills up fast. Next up is a question and answer segment based on questions and comments I received during my prior live stream, from which I presented today's topic on what you need for a fun and successful casino trip. Previously, I'd provided the audio file from that live stream, but starting today, I thought I'd provide my most recent thoughts on these questions just for you, dear podcast listener. Question number 1. Denise says, I have no problem winning most of the time, just trying to teach myself to leave. I always win when I first walk in and then do not want to leave when I just got there. Hi, Denise. You are completely on track with what happens with most slots players. Once you start winning using my strategies, you discover the next step in your slots journey is a lot tougher, leaving with your winnings. Please understand that casinos and their slot machine providers have designed everything you see in a casino to be basically an adult playground. Like a kid at a carnival who tugs on your arm and excitedly says, I want to play that one. To help you leave with your winnings, I suggest you decide what to do before you arrive. That's when you do your clearest thinking. When not at the casino, ask yourself, what's your plan? In fact, figure out 3 plans in advance of your casino trip. First, what to do if the usual happens. That's for you, that seems like it's you walk in and win first. Then know your response. Put half your winnings away in your deposit-only pocket or lockable wallet, or 25% or 75% or 100% and go home. The second plan is what to do if you win an unusual amount. Not the most you've ever won, but a pleasant amount. Do you put away as much money as you arrived with, so you know you'll at least break even if you stay? Or again, 25%, 50%, 75%, or 100% of it and play with the remainder. And the third plan is basically what you'll do if you win more than you've ever won before, or just about. This third plan probably should be run. Run. Get out and go home now. But it's your decision. It's your 3 plans. The hardest thing about playing slots isn't winning, it's getting out with your winnings. So at least have your plans in place, because your casino certainly has their plans for you. Question number 2. John says, I play 8 spins and move on if 0 payouts. I appreciate this adjustment to my 5-spin method. It's always been a starting point. I have always encouraged making your own changes and approaches to using it, which you find works best at your casino. I chose 5 spins because that many bets seem to match how careful I am with money. I'm comfortable with 5 bets and then move on if 0 payouts. For me, 8 bets seems to be a bit wasteful, but that's my experience at my casinos. And because I never just use my 5-spin method, but rather combine that slot strategy with others that work at my casino, nowadays I hardly ever get to 5 spins with 0 payouts. I'll often win something on the first or second bet, then move on. You can see this in all my 5-spin demonstration videos, which I wish I could show you, but this is a podcast, dear listener. But you can find these demo videos on my YouTube channel along with my other demonstration videos, like my tough love approach. So if 8 bets works best for you, good and well done. Question number 3. Magpie says, I set a goal when I go. Sometimes it is to test the casino, entertainment with friends, win 30 to 40% over bankroll, etc. Professor Slots taught me to assess the casino and then I play, plan breaks, and manage my thoughts. Magpie is a long-term fan. I think we go back over 5 years, or is it 7? She was learning from me years before I started my YouTube channel through this podcast and my website articles, and it has helped her, and it can help you if you let it. Yes, set a goal. Magpie has several goals, as mentioned, and she picks the reason for her casino trip and then follows her plan. Why? Because winning at slots is easy, but what's hard is leaving with winnings. And sometimes those winnings aren't monetary, but rather the goal is having fun with friends or learning her casino better, which Magpie does because she has so very many to learn from. There are around 40 casinos on the Las Vegas Strip. I remember in one of our membership Zoom meetings when she mentioned that, and we all got excited. Wouldn't that be fun, we were saying to each other. And she just looked at us, tired. We didn't get that visiting 40 casinos with any repeatable strategy is impossible. When I was in Louisiana with my fan and moderator, Texas Tootsie, we went to 3 casinos in a single day, Golden Nugget, Delta Downs, and Coshada. And as I walked and talked and explained to Jan what I was seeing, I ended up exhausted. So exhausted. Yes, you can visit many, many casinos if you're not trying to learn how to win at them, because every casino is different. Like, you're special, just like everyone else. Every casino is special, just like every other casino. And Magpie talks about managing her thoughts because she knows that casinos are designed to try to manage your thoughts for you. But resistance is not futile. It just takes an effort and a little bit of practice. Magpie manages her thoughts prior to her casino visits, plans breaks, focuses on her goal for each visit, and assesses her casino. Just like those Facebook memes we see sometimes, be like Magpie. Question number 4. Darlene says, my local casino used to be kind of generous. Now they are just tight, but they are building a hotel. I live in Upper Indiana, and my local casino is 4 Winds. Are they tight due to funding of the casino? Hi, Darlene. Yes, that's how businesses operate. Like your personal budget when you have a home improvement project. You'd rather not dig into your savings or your child's college fund. You limit doing that entirely if possible, and instead take it from a portion of your current income. Yes, it may mean you're not putting as much into your 401k or your child's college fund for a short while, but you're not depleting those funds. So if a casino has a building project, either a new hotel or an extension to the casino gaming floor, they pull from their current income, which is You win a little less to cover their building costs. But Indiana has state data on return statistics, as do 19 other U.S. states. Go look at their latest returns and see if their average payouts have dropped. Now, these returns are usually a month or two behind, so you need to wait to see what happens. But you can also see when they recover. Again, waiting months for the data may be longer than you care to, but you can always go to the casino today and just watch to see if anyone is winning. Go for a walk, look around, see what's happening. It doesn't take much to learn how to do this, and before long, you'll know if you can play whenever you walk into a casino or take a break or just plain leave. It's a skill that will serve you well. And yes, you can also play and lose, saying afterwards, nope, not yet. The odds are still terrible. Or you can use a spreadsheet with the state data to watch for it. Or you can watch others lose money. It's really your choice. Question number 5, Jill says, my tastes often turn into buffets. Oh, I love buffets. I assume you mean that the initial win when using my 5-spin method, the taste, is somehow becomes a complimentary meal at your casino's buffet? If so, nice. Or you take those taste wins and spend that bankroll at the buffet? Either way, that works for me too. Question number 6. Texas Tootsie says, my son wins big, then gives it all back. I've been trying to teach him how to keep his winnings. Hi, Texas Tootsie. It's great that your son wins. And giving it all back is what most slots players do. We just need to learn our lesson, our very valuable, costly lesson. But casinos put a lot of work into changing our brain chemistry while we are at the casino. All it takes is a casino employee's scripted words like, I'll see you later when you win again, or all the flashing lights and fantastic sounds going directly into our eyes and ears. There's some things your son can do to learn his lesson, which he's already paid for time and again. I teach them in my advanced course, Slots Labs. For now, I'll say maybe he needs to reduce that casino input with sunglasses and iPod headphones with a noise-canceling feature, or plain old one-use hearing protection that only costs a few cents. Whichever most affects his ability to leave with winnings, reduce it. As his mother, you want the best for him, I know, but he must want it for himself, right? Question number 7. Sports Guy says in a $5 donation super chat, have bad luck lately, but good luck from my friends and strangers. This month, 3 times I got off a slot machine and the next person won the grand. OMG. I'm so sorry, Sports Guy. That's tough to watch. Fun to see, but tough to watch if that makes sense. But it's also tough to do anything about it. Why? Because winning grands is highly, highly unusual. There's a casino out there, actually 2 of them, that publishes on their website their progressive jackpot wins. One casino provides a specific machine ID along with the time and date. They don't offer that data for long, only for a few weeks, but I've been collecting it since, in 5 days, it'll actually be 1 year. I have the records for just under 75,000 hand pays with time, date, game theme name, ID, location including map, jackpot amount, and denomination, which I use to win progressives, but so far only discuss how in my Slots Labs advanced course. Anyway, one small thing I've learned from all this data is how long it takes for a specific slot machine to provide a grand. I've a year's worth of data next week, and some machines have yet to pay out their grand progressives. A year. But those are the over $1 million progressives. I have no idea how many years it'll take for those to pay out. But smaller grands, say over $30,000, may pay out every 3 months or so. My point is, grands will be fun to win, but the data says it's not easy at all. Maybe focus on the major. For some machines, those pay out every 3 days or less. This is what the casino data shows. Some popular ones, like Dancing Drums, consistently pay out in only a few hours. And did you know that more of your bet amount usually goes to increase the major than the grand? That's why majors climb fast and grands climb slow. Again, all this analysis is part of Slots Labs, but not all of Slots Labs, because learning to lead with your winnings is so very important, as is learning to combine strategies that work at your casino. Otherwise, and this isn't quite what you asked, but we're all thinking it, if someone wins on a machine after you get up from it, then here's what you do from now on. Take your money and player's card out of the machine, wait 30 seconds, then put both back in and keep playing. Now, you are the next player that gets those wins you've been seeing others get. Question number 8. Angela asks, are your courses solely on Facebook? I don't have social media anymore, but I might have to join again. Hi, Angela. No, my courses are not on Facebook at all. I've learned a lot about social media since I started my Professor Slots business. And I don't mean to say this is you, but many people don't know there is anything other than Facebook on the internet. I had no idea there were over 250 social media sites similar to Facebook, all waiting and hoping and trying their hardest to become as popular. No, my online vendor for my many slots courses, including a free one, a fundamental slots course, 30 days to play slots smarter and win, my advanced course Slots Labs, which is 6 weeks of lessons and Zoom meetings, as well as my 7 Gambling Record Secrets course with its record-keeping spreadsheet templates for slots players, are all elsewhere than Facebook. It's a vendor which costs a hefty fee, which gets paid by the cost of my courses. Business stuff. If you want to go take a look at my courses and see if any of them are for you, visit my website at professorslots.com and click on the link near the top called Courses Sign In. That's how you find them. Or just watch, listen, or read my free content. But the courses are faster than something like 950 videos, including nearly 200 live streams up to 2 hours long. If you are reluctant to buy my courses, I suggest focusing on my free content and using your newfound winnings to pay for my courses as you go, so you can do even better. If you can get out of the casino with your winnings, that is. Either way, enjoy and good luck. Question number 9. Steve says, say you're playing 10-cent denomination and bet $2.50. Are the percentage payouts the same if you would bet like $10 on a dime denomination or any denominations? There are 20 states that offer return statistics for slots, including Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Massachusetts, Mississippi, Missouri, Nevada, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island. But 7 of these 20 states offer monthly returns broken down by slot machine denomination, which are the states of Colorado, Connecticut, Iowa, Louisiana, Mississippi, Nevada, and South Dakota. If you look at the state data for slot machine denominations, as I have, and you could, you'll see that every denomination has a different payback. And no, it's not a random payback. How can I possibly prove that? Easy. Just look at 1-cent penny denomination. It's always lowest for up to 20 years in some states, except one time in Cripple Creek, Colorado, when it tied for worst. And that's not luck or randomness. That's a casino's business plan. People love penny slots and casinos know it. So in response, casinos have gotten more penny slots than any other denominations and lowered the odds of winning on them. Now, in full disclosure, in the last decades, casinos are starting to have almost as many multi-denomination machines as penny machines. But not all these 7 states have a line item just for multi-denomination machines. A few do, though. Anyway, this data makes it evident that different denominations can be set with different odds of winning, the theoretical payout return setting, if the casino wants to do that. And again, according to the data, most casinos want to do so. So all that being said as background, here's the answer to your question. You didn't mention the 1-cent denomination, which traditionally has the lowest odds. You mentioned the dime denomination. So you're not asking which denomination is better necessarily. You're asking how many credits is better without changing the denomination. I'll answer your question about how many credits is better without changing the denomination. There is no state data for that, but I think there is a difference because I've experienced it myself. For example, I used my slot strategies to find a slot machine set to win at Hollywood Lawrenceburg in Indiana, and I played minimum bets for 60 minutes, making 90-cent bets and winning about $20 every 10 bets or so. So my bankroll climbed from $100 to over $300. But I don't go to casinos to win. I go to casinos to learn and then tell you what I learned. So after an hour, I switched from minimum 90-cent bets to mid-level $2.70 bets. And I continued to win every 10 bets or so, just not as much. Instead of my bankroll slowly climbing, it stayed steady. I was cycling my bankroll, neither winning or losing, over half an hour. And so I then switched to maximum bets of $4.50. And still, I won every 10 bets or so. But now I was making $4.50 bets instead of 90-cent bets. That's a 5x increase in bet size. But was I winning 5x what I had won every 10 bets or so with minimum bets? Was I winning 5 times $20 or $100? No, I was not. I was winning about $35 every 10 bets or so. So for another half an hour, my bankroll slowly depleted from $300 to less than $100, which is when I decided my experiment was over. Now, what can you learn from this? That how many credits are bet can have different odds of winning. It may not seem like it because how often I won didn't change. But how much I won did change, which is a change in odds. That's what we know. What I don't know is if your slot machine is set up to have better odds when making minimum bets, but perhaps yours is set the opposite. But you can find out just as I did. Make 5 or 10 or 20 $2.50 bets and note what happens. And then make the same number of $10 bets. Then compare the difference in results. That's how to know. And for those who want to know which denomination to play on a multi-denomination machine, which denomination has the best odds of winning, do the same. Make 5 bets on each denomination, avoiding the penny denomination, and learn for yourself which is currently set to have better odds by the casino. And remember, just because a slot machine has the same game theme as the one next to it doesn't mean the odds have been set the same, especially if one of those apparently identical slot machines is more highly visible. Phew, long answer. Okay, last one. Question number 10. Pinta Black says, you're teaching a whole new way of playing slots and possibly increasing your wins by trial and error thinking, where before we'd just find any slot and try to will it to pay. You're spot on, Pinta Black, my friend. We're all self-taught at slots, or we were. Now, with me and others that only claim to be helping slots players, we're all learning together. But so many others are still perpetuating myths and trying to trigger hate and other emotions to make money from views. But you, dear podcast listeners, are getting more experienced at sorting through what works and what doesn't work, who is misleading you and who you like, know, and trust. That's just the world we live in these days. My old professor used to say everyone should get a degree in physics. Well, I don't know about that. I got his point. A degree in physics, and not just that field, is a BS detector. We learn to listen to someone and hear the contradictions of what they are saying when they said the opposite 30 seconds ago. Sure, conspiracy theorists love that. They love being told Princess Diana was assassinated and she's living in hiding. Both equally. And they want to know more, like if Michael Jackson is there with her. And so it goes. But when we are trying to learn at slots, entertainment, if you want to call it that, gets in the way. But I find winning at slots to be very entertaining. That's my kind of entertainment, not contradictions in what is said, so that every audience member gets to hear what they want to believe and just ignores the other part, which isn't what they believe. But please understand, I don't care what you believe. Your faith is yours. So go ahead and try to will your slot machine to pay. I wish you luck with that. But how's that working out for you? Logic, math, and critical thinking aren't faith-based. Learning through trial and error, learning to use what works to get repeatable and consistent wins is my approach. Want to take the next step to accelerate your slots journey? Well, take my 6-week advanced course Slots Labs with group coaching. Every week we'll focus on what you need to win at slots and leave with your winnings. You also get 3 free valuable bonuses, including my mini course, 7 Gambling Record Secrets, my Slots Fundamentals course, 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win, because it's a prerequisite for Slots Labs, and strategy calls with me. Visit professorslots.com/SL to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and cost. Seating is limited, and the course fills up fast. What follows is some audio snippets from my feedback interview conversation with Shane, who took my Slots Labs course. Enjoy, and I'll talk with you further afterward. I sometimes forget, and I wanted to turn that on. Go ahead.
It was a valuable lesson, John. I mean, it was
just to get it into the recording. Your 2022 gambling records were atrocious, and you learned from that, or continuing. Okay.
Yeah. So that's going to be my baseline. to work from. So and by the way, I'm leaving in a couple hours for my birthday in Las Vegas. So.
Happy birthday, safe travels, and
make smart choices.
What's that?
I said, make smart choices.
make good choices. Yes, I should change my saying to make smart choices, since I seem to. This is testimonial, feedback, consultation, and all those things. Everyone that I've had so far, everybody signed up for half an hour, and they all finished a little before an hour and a half.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, I guess that's good. Right. You don't have to. If you have to go to Las Vegas, don't let me hold you up.
So how do you usually do this?
Some people have taken notes and that they want to share. Maybe all along. It's not unusual because the course has an element of take notes.
Yeah.
And so they just emailed me the document. We talk about other things and I'll review it later. If they want to talk about something specific in there, that's fine. I don't read it during the call. If you have anything like that, fine. I've already used a quote, which we'll call a testimonial. You can't afford not to take the course.
I really, I hope you're as happy with that quote as I am. I really think it's pretty good. So,
thank you. One of the first class participants is Margaret. Margaret has a long-term plan, and she knows that eventually I want to put together like an action plan offer. There's a wait list for it, and she's like, when you're going to do that? I just did this. and so she said, I'm going to take the Slots Labs the second time because it's going to be so much better, but it's basically cheaper than it would be if I were to do 5 consultations, and I get group coaching too from all the other people in it. So she said she's gonna take it again, and I'm like, that's quite a recommendation.
Yeah.
And somebody else was saying, I think it was Bruce, who was like, I'm going to take it again in the future. And I'm like, I don't know that I study this method, and I think you do too. And I'm like, who retakes courses? And that I'm like, so this is a thing.
Yeah. It is a thing. I think what it shows is you pick up on stuff. That's why I was so excited when I found that you had the Monday meetings online that we could go back and use. Yeah. That to me is gold, because you can mine stuff out of there. And it may be just little comments, whether it be by you or other participants. You can mine little stuff. My whole thing is, aside from the whole slots and that kind of thing, I just think you're an interesting person, and I enjoy your company. So, I mean, I wouldn't want to be like, oh, let's talk about slots and everything.
Thank you. Thank you. Every other time, thank you.
Yeah. Let's talk about, your cats or, whatever.
Well, I'm going to do that anyway. That's part of what makes me interesting.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, I'll tell you a quick story, if you will.
Sure.
Quick story. So I had I have a lot of tattoos, and so I actually found a friend of mine, who was on a TV show. Oh, you have? Cool.
I was stabbed by a number 2 pencil in 9th grade.
Oh, there you go. So,
go ahead.
I found this individual on a TV show, and I wanted to get a tattoo by her. Anyway, long story short, we have become really good friends.
Good.
And I even invested in her tattoo school company. But what I'm saying is that it came from more of, I wanted to meet her, I wanted her to do a tattoo, that kind of thing. And then now it's developed into a friendship. So what I'm saying is that I like interesting people, even aside from the slot stuff. So I'll let you know if I'm in town, and if you want to get together.
If I'm available, if I'm not in like Oklahoma or something, that would be wonderful. I'll Uber on over, and we'll meet. If you want to talk about slots, I may initiate the slots conversation because I'm always trying to learn.
Well, that would be a good rule of thumb for me not to feel bad. Would be if you initiate it, fine. But I'm not going to initiate it because I don't want to play on a friend, on a potential friendship.
Sure.
To like I'm getting something out of it. So I think that would be probably the good rule of thumb is if you initiate it, great. If not, then we talk about other things.
And I have things I can talk about, and I'm not great with people. You may get tired of me talking about, and an airplane is taking off from the international airport. It's just amazing. I'm sorry. I'll be back in a second.
I know that, you and I have this in common. I love data too. Yeah. So, there's so, and I'll have to tell you my first mathematics lesson in undergrad school sometime, but
I will tell you. You tell me yours, and I will tell you mine.
I started out as a math major in my undergrad.
Ooh, nice.
But I'll tell you that was. I'll tease it. I'll tell you how it was quickly put by the wayside, very quick in college. So that'll be a story for another day. But anyway, what I'm saying is we have a lot in common that we can talk about besides slots. So
and I look forward to it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
You take care.
You too. See you later. Okay.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Want to take the next step to accelerate your slots journey? Well, take my 6-week advanced course slots labs with group coaching. Every week we'll focus on what you need to win and leave with your winnings. You also get 3 valuable bonuses, including my mini course, 7 Gambling Records Secrets, my Slots Fundamentals course, 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win, because it's a prerequisite for Slots Labs, and Strategy Calls with me. Visit ProfessorSlots.com/SL to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and cost. But fair warning, this course is not for the faint of heart. It will take hard work, a time commitment of an average of around 5 to 6 hours per week, and sometimes more, sometimes less. We want you to know this going into the Slots Lab experience so that you can get the most coming out of it. Seating is limited and the course fills up fast. The next episode of the Professor Slots podcast will include another slots-related topic, a review of the slots industry in Maryland, and another Q&A segment. That's the end of another great episode of the Professor Slots podcast. Thanks so much for listening. I plan to have the next episode come out very soon for you, where I'll have more amazing content for the show. Until the next episode, have fun, be safe, and make smart choices. Bye.